everybody, welcome to today's video. So today we are talking about how reading with children can strengthen their social and emotional learning skills. So story time isn't just about learning letters or words or how to read, but it's also a chance to support children's emotional growth and development. So as we go along, try to think about how stories can act as tools for helping children understand feelings, build empathy, and connect with others. So reading with kids is more than just teaching kids how to read. It helps kids to understand emotions, to solve problems, and how to care for other people. It helps build connections, strengthen empathy, and understand feelings. When you share stories, you're not just building kiddos' vocabulary, but you're also building those social and emotional skills. And sharing stories with kids gives them time to ask questions and also feel safe with you. Safety is a big part of bonding. So, we're going to be talking about more than just why social emotional learning skills are built for reading and actually how to read in order to boost those social emotional skills. So, one of the ways that we do that is by using emotion in our voice to match the emotion in the story. So if a character is excited, then we're going to be using like a cheerful, excited tone, and our voice is going to get a little higher and a little more animated. Maybe if a character is scared, we're going to have like a scared voice and sound worried and maybe a little bit quiet. Really try to create an experience for the kids so that way they can see how vocal cues and facial expressions connect with emotions that are being portrayed in the story. Over time, kids will realize that emotions are communicated not only through words, but how we say them and how we look when we say them. It's a key skill in recognizing and talking about their own feelings and the feelings of other people. Another tool that we can use is asking questions about the story. So that's pausing while we're reading to have a conversation about it. So as you're reading this story, you can ask open-ended questions and give kiddos a chance to give you their opinions or their perspectives on the story. So if a character's crying, why do you think she's crying? Give them a chance to give their reasoning. What would you do if you were him? So give them a chance to step into the story themselves and how they would approach the situation. Have you ever felt that way before? So tying the story to their own experiences. These questions help children to practice empathy, seeing things from another person's perspective, and they also learn through this that different people have different thoughts and feelings. The more often that you talk about these emotions and the more often that you include them in the storytelling, the more comfortable children become with expressing their own feelings and their own ideas. So part of social emotional learning also includes the ability to problem solve. And in every story, there's going to be an introduction, who are the characters, then there's going to be a problem that the characters come across, something that they have to figure out or something they have to overcome before the conclusion of the story. And so when the characters are facing those challenges in the story, that's also a great opportunity to pause and talk about what's happening. So you can ask your child, oh, what happened? Like, what's the problem? And later on, like, how did they fix the problem? What else could they have tried to solve their problem? Highlighting problems and solutions teaches kids that struggles are a normal part of life and that there are healthy ways to work through them. This builds problem-solving skills and resilience. Talking about different solutions also strengthens creativity and empathy as children learn to see challenges from different points of view. And be sure to praise their ideas because it encourages flexible thinking and also builds their confidence. Now, this one is probably one that most of you are already doing, which is using story time as a calming and connecting routine. So making story time a regular part of your day, especially during quiet moments like bedtime, or maybe they had a tough time and they just need to calm down. Keep your tone warm and let your child snuggle up with you, and try to keep it screen free. But this really just builds a safe time together to really connect and bond. These shared moments help children to regulate their emotions, feel safe, and strengthen their bond with you. The more secure and loved a child feels, the more ready they are to learn and manage their own emotions. So this next tool is really about being able to connect with the story and also understand differences between people and learn to respect those differences. So when choosing books, look for ones where your child can see themselves and their family reflected. This helps them to feel understood, to feel valued, and to put themselves into the story. At the same time, stories that explore different cultures, emotions, and experiences are just as important. Saying things like, look, they eat the same food as us, or that's different from our family, why don't we learn more about that, can encourage curiosity and respect. Books that reflect both familiarity and diversity build self-awareness, compassion, and confidence. With thoughtful book choices, you're not just reading, but you're helping your child grow into a more confident, empathetic, and respectful person. So in review of the concepts we just went over, books are powerful tools for teaching emotions, empathy, and connection. Reading together builds language, brain growth, school readiness, and trusting relationships. You don't need to do anything fancy really. Most of this stuff is probably things that you're already doing. And just your voice, your time, talking together, enjoying time together, these are what really make those stories stick. And on the next slide, we are going to have an example of how to read through an SEL lens.
So we will be reading The Little Red Hen by Rosie McCormick and Gail McIntosh. When I'm reading, I'm going to be talking slowly, calmly, and clearly because 1, we want kiddos to be calm and engaged, and 2, they need more time to process. So if we read too fast, then they won't be able to engage with the story fully. There once was a little red hen who lived with her friends on a farm. She was not a lazy hen. She worked harder than all the other animals. What does it mean to be lazy? What are her friends doing? Because we're tying the meaning of the word lazy to the imagery behind the word lazy, right? The little red hen wanted to plant some grains of wheat. She asked for help, but her friends refused. So she planted the grains by herself. So, the previous page, the friends were being lazy. She asked for help, but now she has to do it by herself. Have you ever had to do something by yourself because nobody helped you? How do you think the hen is feeling? Have them tie it back to their own experiences. In the summertime, the wonderful golden wheat was ready to be harvested. Once again, with no one to help her, the little red hen did all the work. Wow, the hen is a really hard worker. She's doing all of this by herself. Have you ever done hard work? The little red hen had to grind the wheat into flour. As usual, her friends did not want to do any hard work, so the little red hen ground the flour herself. What are Hen's friends doing? Is a kitty sleeping in the grass? Are her other friends walking away? What do you think Hen feels? The little red hen used the flour to make bread dough. With no one to help her, she kneaded the dough all by herself. Does Hen look upset or does she look calm? Can you show me a calm face? What about an upset face? Now what face is Hen making? So that way we can tie facial expressions to emotions, because Hen does look pretty calm here. Hen doesn't really mind the hard work. The little red hen's friends had completely abandoned her, so she baked the bread all by herself. When the smell of freshly baked bread rose up into the air, the little red hen's friends appeared. Why do you think the friends are showing up now? Do you think Hen felt let down by her friends? Abandon's a pretty big word. They were willing to help eat the bread, but the little red hen ate it all by herself. She had done all the work. You could get like a little bit animated. You can do more so than I did in an office environment. But, then we can ask, do you think Hen should have shared with her friends? How do you think her friends feel? How do you think Hen feels? And we get to the last page, so the end. What did you think about that story? Did you like the story? Do you think that other things could have happened in the story? Do you want to read more stories like this, or do you want to read a new story next time? So continue on the conversation and get kids engaged in reading. Reading is more than just sitting down together, listening to information. It's a connection process, and having kids engaged in the conversation engages them with you. Thanks for listening.
So on this slide, I just have a list of books that are really good for social emotional learning at different ages. A couple to point out. So the Be Kind book would probably be better for children who are maybe like 4 and 5. Grumpy Monkey is great, like 2 to 3, and for our littles who, you know, might just be learning words. My First Emotions book is great for building that emotional vocabulary. Um, Llama Llama Misses Mama, that one is a hit with toddlers across the board. Um, but reading from any age is always great. So here's just a list. They're all available on Amazon and different websites. So go ahead and check those out if you really want to start building on these social emotional learning skills through reading. And we have our local resources. So we have First Five Calaveras, everything that your 0 to 5 year olds need. They have a lot of great resources as well as community events, early childhood education, the resource connection. So getting you connected with things that you need, such as childcare, resources in the community, material needs, women, infants, and children for nutrition support, health education, and resources for families with young children. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Go sign up for this. It's a free book program that mails high quality, age appropriate books to children from birth to age 5, no matter their family's income. Dolly Parton started this program in 1995 as a way to honor her father, who couldn't read or write, and it's since grown into an international effort inspiring a love of reading. CDC's Amazing Books for Children. So this is a list of storybooks recommended by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to help families start conversations about emotions, routines, and healthy development. Head Start California and Early Head Start for early childhood education programs for school readiness, social emotional growth, and family support services. Nexus Youth and Family Services, so we have our programs such as Heart Smart Kids, Active Parenting for the first 5 years, which is a phenomenal parenting class, and PC Care, which supports families that are having behavioral issues or whose children have experienced trauma. And then Calaveras County and Amador County Behavioral Health for adult behavioral health needs, child behavioral health needs, to reach out to if you need additional support. And we have a couple surveys if you wouldn't mind scanning our QR codes, taking these surveys. It really just helps us to tailor what we're doing to our community. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can find us in Amador and Calaveras County, and we hope to see you at one of our in-person workshops. Thank you, and have an awesome rest of your day.